Michigan imports 100% of its uranium, 100% of its coal, 95% of its petroleum, of all types of petroleum, and 80% of its natural gas. And that's pretty much where all our energy comes from. What would you recommend or suggest Michigan look into to improve Michigan's energy future?
Well, Michigan's energy picture doesn't sound very much different from Minnesota. And I gave a talk in Minnesota a while back, and I suggested to Minnesotans, after some deep research I did, which took me about 7 minutes, to discover that Minnesota had very little of its own energy, and the only thing to do if you want energy security within your state, which is an artificial construct, I admit, because you can get energy in from other places, but if you want to think conceptually, and I think it's a useful exercise to think conceptually, is what would Michigan do if it were a country and wanted to think about, at least conceptually, being energy independent, a difficult, if not troubled term, but still interesting conceptually, and that is to think about what are the local natural resources? What's the sunlight? What's its availability? How much of it should nature really be getting? What's the land availability? The water, so that if you have land, water, fertility, and sunlight, you can grow things. Understanding that growing things is a great effort and takes a toll on the soil unless you rebuild it. Think about what it is that Michigan could gain for itself on a daily basis. That number will give Michigan a pretty good clue as to what its human carrying capacity is. The bad news is it may not be such a high number as people had been hoping. But one day, sunlight and whatever else falls out of the sky and what we can gently and reasonably take from the earth is about all that people in Michigan or anywhere else are going to have to manage on. And that one day is going to take place during this century, and because of the oil and gas decline rates likely to take place in the world and in America, particularly around oil, some of these issues may have to be faced sooner rather than later. So it's doing an inventory of what nature can supply on a daily basis, leading to a carrying capacity number. And it's a range. It's not an absolute number. It depends on a lot of things. And deciding how much manufacturing Michigan needs to be involved in or can be involved in, and doing an honest analysis of this resource situation.
Thank you very much for your time.